Hello traders. Today September 18th, 2019. It is oil news morning. Oil news in 37 minutes. This is proprietary Fibonacci levels in front of you. It is Alpha Fibonacci Total Trading System. What you are witnessing in front of you is predictive power of Alpha Fibonacci levels. This is a chart present in the room for the last 2 weeks. This is what played out last week. Let's review. Last week, spectacular bullish news. Did it mean anything? Of course not. What was crucial at the time of the news? Number one, buyers failed to break through the end of the minor trend to the downside. Number two, critical Fibonacci support is out at the time of extremely powerful bullish news. Oil sold off 400 ticks plus. So if you trade on the news, you know what you get. Not much. But if you pay attention to price and predictive power of Alpha Fibonacci, at the time of extremely bullish news last week, you knew how critical this support is. This support is out, oil in free fall, reaching ultimate bottom. And this is where oil rallied from ultimate bottom, ultimate trend inception. And this is the biggest gap since 1990s. 20% increase in oil value instantly from ultimate bottom until oil reaches proprietary Fibonacci reversal zone identified weeks in advance, where oil sold off from, not the place to buy. And that's a stunning reminder of the power and precision of the method. Know Alpha Fibonacci levels in advance, and if you execute properly, you're not surprised. Critical support is out before critical resistance. Right now, pullback on oil in a play. All levels present in front of you weeks in advance. If oil pulling back lower, it's a gift. Right now, oil in the middle of the trend. You do not want to buy near this level. Oil oversold, taking a major pause before the news. Sellers in charge. If oil pulling back lower, it's a gift. If oil pulling back to here, you will have opportunity to buy ultimate bottom. If oil stuck here, this is a major problem. 1 and 2 to the upside. And if I convert this chart to 5 minute, what do you see? Ultimate accuracy applies. This is oil at ultimate bottom and ultimate top on that famous day, September 15th. There is no surprises here. Ultimate bottom is a place to buy, not ultimate top. Identical chart, identical Fibonacci levels on oil monthly 2016. Do you remember oil at the bottom at 31? That's exact same thing that happened on oil in 2016 as happened on oil on September 15th. Buy the bottom. And that's what oil does 2 years later. Shock or not, skyrockets as identified years in advance. What do you see ahead? Fibonacci reversal zone, not the place to buy. the place to exit long. As expected, oil selling off, as it's done last week on 5-minute chart. Charts are twins, and that's the power of Alpha Fibonacci Total Trading System. What is the critical level to the downside? 64. Does oil break through this level? Of course, except if taken 6 months to do so. And when this level is out, oil in sell-off. All identified in advance, never after the fact. And that's the power and precision of Alpha Fibonacci Total Trading System. All identified months and years in advance on long-term charts. And this is chart on 5-minute, and if I convert 15-minute, identical strategy applies. And if I go to oil long term, there are no surprises here. Oil sold off from 77, identified since 2016. So why in the world is oil rallying? Because its ultimate bottom, 56, is a very big problem this morning. Present in the room 4 years. Critical resistance, 56, is a major problem. And that's the power of the method. Do you want to buy oil long term? Or do you want to trade as day trader? Choice is yours. Identical strategies apply. Oil oversold? Not the time to buy oil. That's a clear problem. So here's a current contract on long-term oil charts. You can see how critical this institutional resistance is. I simply convert to current oil contract. So, if oil collapses all the way to the bottom, that would be a gift. If not, this is a major problem. Problem 1, problem 2. It is not little baby levels, it is critical institutional resistance. And that's the reason for bullish rally. Institutional bottom correlating with trend inception on day trading chart. Zero surprises here. So if you've been in the room for weeks, you know that extremely clearly. Ultimate trend inception, ultimate bottom since September 12th on day trading charts. And that's a stunning flawless rally on oil from ultimate bottom, historical gap. Now oil oversold. And that institutional resistance causing the problem. So currently before the news, you are witnessing critical Fibonacci resistance in front of you. At the time of the news, I will convert this chart to 1-minute chart so you can see instantly the power of Alpha Fibonacci Total Trading System that identifies critical trend inception, trend reversal, and critical resistance levels before any news. Oil oversold, buyers are worthless. Lower oil pulls back. If oil pulls back to here, it's a gift. Ultimate bottom. Right now, market stuck in bearish correction before oil news. Sellers dominating this market. This critical resistance is key this morning. Market oversold. Powerful bullish rally will be a good news. Without powerful bullish rally, touching oversold market not a brilliant thing to do unless oil will pull back to this area here, preferably here. Ultimate day trading reversal zone, ultimate institutional resistance. Again, lovely place to short from, lovely place to buy from. Not the place to buy into, not the place to buy into. Resistance before the news. We have no idea what the news will be. We know everything. Critical buy and sell area independent of the news, as we knew last week, when oil crashed and burned 400 ticks, despite spectacular news, when oil rallied from the bottom identified many days in advance. So if you were in the trading room for the last few weeks, you know this chart had not changed. It's been present in front of you for the last few weeks. Oil news expectations minus 2.5 ME, identical as last week. Last week news came out with minus 6.8 ME with its extreme undersupply, which means more negative the news, more bullish the news, because undersupply is a good news for oil. So please never confuse oil numbers with stock earnings. It's completely opposite. At any moment oil news is out. Well before oil news we are extremely clear. This is critical Fibonacci resistance not to buy to. It is extremely clear oil oversold. We need for oil to push lower. If oil will push here, it's a good news. If oil will push even lower, it's much better news. Critical resistance in front, chart converted to 1. We do not care how bullish the news is. We only care about Fibonacci levels that show us days before the news what to pay attention to. So if oil collapsing to here, it's a gift. Right now oil at 90% oversold market. And that's oil news next. Oil news is out, traders. Plus 1.1 versus minus 2.5, which means actually it's a bit of a bearish news. So here we are, traders. Did we know that this would be a problem? Of course. Oversold market showing you how crucial Fibonacci resistance is days in advance. So if you remember and understand where we are on institutional charts, you are never ever tempted to enter near. Correct? And that's the power and precision of the method, no matter what you trade. So if oil will get away from this area to this support, it will be a good news. Extremely good news. This response was expected. Oil oversold. Lower oil retraces, better off your longs will be. This resistance this morning is a key. This is identical resistance on oil in the months of February and March, shown weakness of the buyers on institutional chart. It's identical meaning the end of the minor trend. This entire area on oil, ultimate bottom, ultimate trend inception. So when you see word reversal zone, this is a place you look to buy from, not to short into. Only obstacle remains this resistance. And that's oil this morning at the time of the news. So here we are, traders, 3 hours after oil news release. We discussed this is a brick wall. We discussed no matter what the news is, you never enter into this critical Fibonacci resistance level. This is news on oil 3 hours later. We discussed if oil collapses lower, it will be a gift because you are reaching crucial institutional support, trend inception lower. If I would convert this chart to 15, what do you see? Identical accuracy remains. Critical Fibonacci resistance identified weeks in advance was in a play on oil news this morning. This is the level we discussed well before oil news. This is a level present in the room for weeks. And this is the events on oil since last week. If would have converted this chart to hourly, this is the power and precision of the method. Last week, phenomenal bullish news, oil in free fall, as expected. Last week, spectacular bullish rally, oil raises in price more than 20%, the event unseen since 1990s, because oil at the bottom. Oil skyrockets until reversal zone, present in front of you for weeks, and sells off. And this is oil news event this morning. Right now I have to close this chart, I have to go to FOMC event, but once again, Alpha Fibonacci Total Trading System applies to any instrument, any time frame, any platform you choose to trade. This is oil during news for the last few weeks. Critical Fibonacci trend inception identified. Critical Fibonacci resistance identified days in advance. And that's the power and precision of the method that show you ultimate bottom, show you ultimate top, show you critical resistance. Identical formula applies on long-term oil. If you missed the events of this morning, video had been recorded where we discussed oil all the way to 2015. And that's the power of Alpha Fibonacci Trading System. And that's the difference between Alpha Fibonacci Total Trading System versus Alpha Fibonacci Profit Runner, semi-automated software, optimized for S&P Dow and Nasdaq futures. This is long on Dow during the last hour. This is ultimate point of entry, this is stop, this is key target. Ultimate precision. The difference between two, Alpha Fibonacci Profit Runner optimized for day trading Dow, S&P and Nasdaq. Alpha Fibonacci Total Trading System applies to everything. And that's what you will see in live markets next during FOMC event. So if you have any questions about Profit Runner or Alpha Fibonacci Total Trading System, multiple links on website will lead you to the source. Learn more, you will learn more details about both systems. If you scroll all the way down, you will see performance of Alpha Fibonacci Profit Runner for the last year. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Brand new release later today, it's a backtesting performance. First time ever released to retail traders. So please review the information on the website and understand the difference between two different systems. Both first time ever available to retail traders. Semi-automated total trading system was released in July. That applies to any instrument, any time frame. Semi-automated day trading software being released this week. First time ever. Most important part of website, what students have to say and do. Please review the information there. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to call or email me. 925-257-4298 or info@fibinstitute.com. FOMC next.